Welcome back to the Autumn Acorn Knits. I have been knitting up a storm in these last couple of months, and now that the snow has started falling here in the White Mountains, I just can't stop casting on all the things and finishing up some projects that have been on my needles for years. It feels really good to be in that frame of mind where I just want to get things done, just get them finished. Move on to the next thing. So I'm going to share with you today all of those projects that I have finished. You will find all the names of these projects and the designers plus the yarn I used in the show notes down below. So here we have a lacy crescent shaped shawl that I knit using 2 strands of a fingering weight yarn. One was a silk and one was a silk mohair. This turned out so beautiful and fits perfectly to wear tied around my neck. I'm really enjoying how light it feels. Sample 2 of one of my own designs called the Cluster Puff Crochet Neckwarmer. I really love how thick and squishy this one turned out. I think it's going to be perfect for winter. Here is a sample of the crochet cowl that I had made a couple years ago. The only thing is I didn't like that it has seam in the back. And so when I designed the new one, I made sure there was no seam in the back. The only thing it does have is this beautiful line of stitches. Not a seam, it's a stitch, and I just think that was what it needed. That was the finishing touch that I had been looking for. And it just made this cowl so much more perfect. But if you wanted to see a sample with stripes and one that was a little longer, this is a good example. Next up is my Star Flower Wrap number 2, and this is a free pattern by Hobie. I used some fingering weight yarn and US 4 needles for this. I love the way it turned out. I crocheted a tie at the end using a little scallop and crocheted a border all around the edge of it as well. Here's my Star Flower Wrap number 1, the original, which has the original lace sleeves that are in the pattern. I used some beautiful Illimani Sabri in the color Bone, which is a fingering weight yarn, and US 4 needles. I love this version. Up next is the Enchanted Farmhouse shawl by me. I knit this with some sock yarn, hedgehog fibers in the color Teacup, and alpaca silk. I used a US 4 needle, and this has a beautiful lace border to it, and it's so squishy and soft, and I absolutely had a blast designing it. I'm really excited about these fingerless mitts that I think I might call the twin leaf mitts. This is a new design. I've made a couple of samples. As you can see, this pink sample was knit up with Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Camel Rose, held with some silk mohair, and then the other pair, the cream pair, that's 2 strands of a very light fingering weight yarn, held double. And I just love how these turned out. I used a size US 3 needles for them, and they have a twisted rib cuff. Now let's talk about the Magic Moment Shrug, another design that I just finished up, knit with Jagger Spun 100% wool in a fingering weight. The colorway was Smoke. Took me about 3 skeins, and then I used a US 3 needle. I also sewed on 6 buttons for each sleeve. So this shrug is meant to be worn over your back, neck, and shoulders, but mainly to keep your arms warm when you don't want the rest of your body to be warm. So similar to a shawl, only it stays on much better. I absolutely love how it turned out, and it's kind of cool because it starts out as this big square rectangle shape, whatever, flat thing, and then you magically button up the buttons to form the sleeves. And it's so cool. A few years ago, I released a free crochet pattern for a pair of slippers. And now I am going to do the same thing, but with knitting. So these are called the Simple Double Moss Stitch Slippers. And when I say simple, I mean simple. You knit them flat, seam them up, and they are done in no time. I will be looking for test knitters and test crocheters. So if you're interested in helping me out with the shawl, the shrug, the neck warmer, the slippers, or the fingerless mitts, please reach out. You can leave a comment or reach out. This one took me a while, but I just finished sock number 1. These are just plain old vanilla socks, knit with Farmer's Daughter's fiber and a beautiful striped yarn that is by a company called Knit Spin Farm. That's a Cordell. So I just have to cast on sock number 2, and then I'll have these for the winter. Here is a work in progress. This is the Salty Days sweater by Kutovakika, and I just cast on recently with 1 strand of fingering weight yarn that I dyed up in a pink speckle, and then also a strand of undyed DK weight. And together they make the most squishy, warm, and soft fabric ever. I am absolutely loving this pattern so far. Really easy to follow, ready to start following some charts, and they all look so nicely laid out that I'm not afraid. So yeah, this is going to definitely be a long-term project, but I don't mind at all. I'm participating in a knit along, which makes it so much fun. And I do need to get back to this though. I got a little busy with my own designs and put this on the back burner. I recently purchased a few goodies. I couldn't resist when Knit Picks was having a sale. I think it was 50% off of, they had a Swift and a yarn ball winder and a wooden yarn bowl that they were offering for a really, really good price for all 3. So I did pick it up. I had a Swift from before that was a gift from Joe, but I really didn't love it and it took up a lot of space, so I ended up selling that one. So I felt pretty good buying this new umbrella Swift, and I really love it so far. Also, Lumos was having a sale on this new pouch that they created for their light, and so of course I had to get one. It was so reasonable. I believe it was under $10, and I love it. It's so cute, and it fits this little headlight, whatever they call it, neck lamp. That's it. Fits it perfectly. And then here's the little wooden yarn bowl. So I'm working on a project in here called the Northeasterly blanket, and it's gonna look a little crazy, but hold on a second and I'll try to show you what I've got going on so far. So I just put this strip on hold. Now it doesn't mean that I'm finished with the length. It just means that I wanted to see how they fasten together. So I'm going to show you right now. This is actually the wrong side. Wait, no, I'm showing you the right side. Here, I'll show you right now. So here is one strip. Let me give you a better look at it. It's such a pretty design. It's so easy. I'm using up all of my fingering weight minis. And then down at the bottom here, you join the next strip, you join it on the wrong side. So let me try to show you. I just joined. So yeah, it looks really crazy right now. And I have on my little cork stoppers because I don't want my stitches to fly off this double pointed needle. But here you can essentially see, I know what to do. I'll show you on the right side. Hopefully you can, never mind. Well, you're not going to be able to see how I'm joining them together yet, but trust me, it's going to look really beautiful. And I'm just going to keep adding them on to the side until it's someday the size that I want it to be. But I know this one will take forever, but I don't care. I love making blankets. So yeah, that's the Northeasterly blanket. I really hope you've enjoyed this little episode of seeing what I've been making during the months of October and November. I hope that you also have been feeling very creative and very peaceful in this cozy time of year. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the year. Talk to you soon.